Well, I think there are two things that are critical to taking back America. The first is education, and the second is engagement. I think the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure that we're educated on the issues. That means we have to look for sources of information and analysis that we trust. One of the great things we have right now going on in our culture is so much alternative media is available through conservative radio and social networking and access to internet news sites. We can get information that's not filtered by the mainstream media and run through their prism of political correctness. So I think that's the first thing, is we've just got to educate ourselves. I think the second thing is engagement. Involves a couple of things. One is we need to communicate with our elected officials. That's been one of the great things about the town hall movement, the tea parties of this year. It's made it very clear that the American people are very agitated. They're deeply concerned about the cultural drift of our country. They are determined to reclaim this country, to return it to the vision that was established and created by the founding fathers. And so they are learning to communicate with their elected officials. They've shown up in droves at these tea parties. They've shown up in energized numbers at these town hall meetings. They've asked very direct and pointed questions of their elected officials. I've been impressed at these town hall meetings that often constituents know more about what's in these health care bills than the legislators themselves. We've had some legislators openly admit before hundreds of their own constituents that they don't even read these bills. They have their staff read these bills. And others have said, even if you did read the bill with the help of a lawyer, it'd take you 2 days and you still wouldn't understand it. And so the American people are onto them. And so we need to stay engaged in just exactly that method by communicating with our senators and our congressmen and let them know exactly what our wishes are, what we think about the legislation that's before them, and how we want them to vote. The other aspect of engagement I think is absolutely critical is we've got to get involved in electing conservative congressmen. We have got to do a better job in the electoral process of sending representatives and senators back to Washington, D.C. that we know not only share our values, but will vote in a way that is consistent with our shared values when they get back to D.C. So we've got to do our homework. We've got to encourage qualified people to run, people that we know have the strength and the backbone not to wilt under pressure, people that are not going to say one thing on the campaign trail and then vote in a completely different way when they get back to D.C. I think all of us would like nothing more than be able to send good people back to D.C. and then not have to worry about them, not have to monitor them, not have to keep track of them, not to bird dog them every day to make sure they're not off the reservation. And I'd love to get back to that point. We're not there right now, but one of the things we need to do is get people in D.C. that we absolutely know we can trust. And the time to start is now. 2010 is a congressional election year. Every member of the House of Representatives is going to be up for re-election. We need to make sure that we send people back to D.C. in the House of Representatives that are going to reflect our values. And so the time to get working on that is right now.